studio, and we're talking with Michael Kitt today about the dining services. And he has his monthly report, and I think he has lots to talk about.
We do. First, I hope everybody had a good Halloween trick-or-treating around the community, and I hope everybody came down and checked out the dining admin office. We really decked it out this year. A couple things that we're going to talk about is on the 17th, we have Night on the Town. That's the anniversary of Green Spring, and you'll see a special menu throughout all the dining rooms for that. Excuse me. We also have our chili cook-off coming up December 2nd. I think it's a Friday. And I know a lot of residents enjoy that, and it's a chance where the chefs get to, I guess, spread their wings a little. And we're going to have a competition. We're going to have, you know, the tasting panel. We're going to have some entertainment. We're going to deck the conference. It's going to be in the conference center. And I think
And what time is it?
I want to say 11 to 2.
Okay.
But there will be information coming out on that coming up soon. We also are going to be having, every year we do this where we have the Thanksgiving meal that you can purchase. But this year we're not doing it out of the cafe. We're going to do it out of the Jefferson, and that's just on our side for production-wise. It makes for a smoother operation. There'll be information coming out on that as well. And this year we're looking at adding some choice for the residents or the employees who purchase this for premium desserts. We've always done the apple pie and the pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie, but we now have a baker that is part of our purchasing program that we can get like pumpkin rolls, or if you want to get a premium dessert, maybe you want a Black Forest cake or a carrot cake, we're going to look at having that option. You know, it'll be a premium, different cost, but if you wanted the pies, that's fine. If you wanted to add on a premium dessert, you can do that as well. We're looking at having a holiday cake sale through the stores. And just a lot of things going on. We introduced a new, and I'm going to hold this up so you can see. This is our new monthly calendar for dining service, and it's available at the host stands, in the dining rooms, and in the admin office on Phyllis's desk. And it just goes over that month, some things that we are doing, some special, you know, food holidays that maybe residents don't know about. So this will be every month, and it'll have a couple activities that we're doing or events that we're promoting, and it's another communication piece that we're getting out to the residents.
Okay. Can you go over some of that with us?
Sure. I'm sorry. I have terrible eyes, so excuse me for that. But we're going to have on Friday, November 4th, this coming Friday, is National Peanut Butter Lovers Month. So in the lobbies, we're going to have peanut butter cookies.
Oh, okay.
We're going to start on the second Tuesday of every month. We're going to have a birthday cake out in the lobby, and that's to celebrate anybody who has a birthday that month. So that it'll be a general birthday for any resident who's celebrating birthdays, and obviously, you know, if residents want to join in on celebration, we're going to have in each of the dining rooms, lobbies, you'll see a birthday cake out there for, you know, residents to enjoy, and celebrating residents' birthdays for November, December, and so on. Obviously, there's Thanksgiving this month, and we'll be doing our regular Thanksgiving brunches in the dining rooms. And again, and it's right on here, the 17th is Night on the Town. So when you look at the calendar, it'll have the certain functions that we're going to be promoting marked, and it'll also have some other information. And I think it's a nice looking calendar. So that's a great piece of information.
Very good.
That we're going to pass on.
Very good. So what else is new?
I hope everybody's met Tyshawn Wilson, our new dining director, and he's been making the rounds and getting onboarding, and it's just a great asset to have him here. He's got a lot of knowledge, and we're just moving forward. We've, you know, in the Fireside and on the Woodland Skies menu, you'll see that there were a couple changes to the core menu. Every other month we're doing that. In the Jefferson, we've introduced some more action stations, and we do look at the common cards. We've made some adjustments to the menu, and obviously we're going into the fall and winter, so you'll see, you know, different items added for that purpose. So making changes all over.
Okay, this is a call-in show. Don't forget. And it's 703-663-3333. So if you have questions about your dining experience, Michael's the one to answer them. So call in and ask your questions, make your comments. Let us know what you're thinking.
We're also going to be putting out a new menu in the bistro on the 14th of this month. We've listened to a lot of the residents who visit the bistro many times and some of their requests. So
we have a call coming in. So let's take that call.
Hello.
Hello, you're on Channel 6.
Hello. Okay, whoops.
Yes, go ahead with your question.
Yes, I wanted to know a little bit more about the Night on the Town. We have a lot of new residents, and I have a feeling they don't know anything.
I'm sorry, we can't hear it in
Night
here.
on the Town.
Can you tell us more about Night on the Town?
Oh, more about Night on the Town.
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, thank you much.
Well, Night on the Town is the celebration of Green Spring, the anniversary of Green Spring. I think it's 18 years this year that we're celebrating. And what we do in the dining rooms is you'll see we suspend the signature program in the two, CB1 and CB2, Fireside and Woodland Sky, excuse me. And we have more of a, a menu that's a very upscale menu in the celebration and the anniversary, and some of the residents do dress up for that. So it's an anniversary celebration, and that's how we do the menu for that. And we're putting together the menu, but it's going to be a really, really nice menu. You'll see the similar menu throughout the restaurants, because we don't want to promote one restaurant getting inundated if they do a certain menu. So the menus will be pretty much similar throughout Jefferson, Woodland Skies, and Fireside, and even in Garden Ridge. They'll be partaking of this. And very nice menu. A lot of the residents sometimes do dress up for it. It's an anniversary of Green Spring.
Is there anything to honor those who have lived here that long? Because I know there are quite a number of them.
That I'm not sure. I can definitely look into that and see if we're going to do something for those who've been here for quite some time.
Well, some moved in here on the very first
I know
time.
that, and so we can definitely look into that, and that's something that we can look at. And usually, we have some sort of fare or gift that we put on the table. So we'll look at doing the same thing this year.
Very good, very good. So any other questions or comments, please sure you call in.
And I think what I was talking about before is with the bistro.
Yes.
Starting on the 14th, we're going to introduce a new menu. We've looked at adding a couple, I guess what you'd say, hearty entrees, things that I guess, the residents were asking for. We're looking at basically some things that we really weren't selling, and just streamlining the menu, but also offering more offerings, looking at the fall and the winter again, and maybe introducing new soups. We won't take the forced mushroom off, because I know that's a favorite over there. And I know they like the pot pie, and I know they like the chicken tortilla soup. So we might introduce a couple more soups, a couple more entrees, items like that. I know someone was asking about a hot dog, so we'll look at that as well.
Okay, we have another call coming in. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead with your call.
First of all, I want to compliment you on the Halloween decoration and the dining service officer. It was very nice. But my concerns are the tacos in the cafe. Last night you had tacos, but you didn't have any salsa. Now, how in the world can you have a taco without salsa? It's like having a Reuben sandwich without sauerkraut. And the other thing is, the young people that make the tacos, you ought to take them over to Tippy's or Anita's or someplace that they can learn how to make a taco. Who's responsible for ordering, keeping the salsa supply on hand and You know, a couple of months ago, you ran out of eggs at breakfast in the cafe. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, that's something we shouldn't have ran out of salsa on taco night, but that's something that I can visit with the chef over there and make sure that, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, but
Right.
we'll definitely make sure that won't happen. And, running out of eggs, that sounds like that's a fluke because I'm usually upstairs in the morning for breakfast, and, I don't remember the last time that they had a shortage on eggs unless they were just going in the back to get more, because that's one thing we definitely keep a large supply of. So I can look into those. I apologize for the salsa. And as far as the taco salad, we can revisit that with the staff and just maybe have a taco class, it sounds like, and just go over, that we have the similarity that there is, when we prepare the tacos, it's the same, that we're not changing the routine up. So we can definitely look into that. But I appreciate the information, like I say, and I always tell residents, I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
And there's a lot more of you than there are of me. And I always say, if you see me walking in the hallway, if you see me in the dining room, wherever you see me, if you have a question, a comment, or concern, please, I can't fix what I don't know.
Right.
And, I am one person, and obviously, we have the chefs everywhere and the sous chefs, but, please, this is your home. Mm-hmm. So if you see something, you have a question, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Well, I think that's why it's so important that people use the comment cards.
Absolutely.
That are on the
It's a
table.
great form of communication. And yes, we read them. And yes, we act upon them and we look at them. And it is a great form of communication. So are, I know each dining room has their own dining service, the resident mini dining council that they meet with.
Yes.
That's great communication. Tom, myself, and Corey meet with the resident dining committee. That's another great communication. I mean, it's open. My office and Ty's office and Corey's office is right across from the medical center and town center. Mm-hmm. If you have a question, and I know a lot of residents come by and do you have a minute? Absolutely. I'm not there a lot, but I'm always walking around. If you see me, you got a minute? I'm not going to say no. Mm-hmm. You want to stop me in the hall, whatever you have a question. I may not have the answer, but I can always refer back to, senior management or do a little investigating and look up and get back to you with your information.
Okay, we have another call coming in. Go ahead, you're on Channel 6.
Good morning. On the communication issue, when signature dining was first talked about and when it was first introduced, the dining rooms, all dining rooms had town hall meetings. There's also one was held in the theater. We have just had some major changes with regard to use of the private dining room in Fireside, and we're about to have some major changes with regard to walk-up, carry-out meals in Woodland Sky as well as other things. And this has all been done and communicated by paper. There have been nothing about any town hall meetings. Will there be any town hall meetings that the residents can get their questions answered and maybe make some suggestions for alteration of things? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Absolutely. And I know I've brought this up, and Corey, Ty, myself are talking about planning town halls, not just for the individual dining venues, but also one for dining service. Mm-hmm. I can't give you a lockdown date because we have to make sure that rooms are available, but we are looking at scheduling those in the near future. And it is another communication piece for the residents to come and voice their comments, their concerns, their questions. So we definitely will look at scheduling those in the near future.
I think the face-to-face meeting is so important. Sometimes a written communique is misinterpreted.
Correct, and how you read something and how I read something
Yes.
can be
Yes.
interpreted differently. But when you and I sit here like we are now and talking, I think you get a lot accomplished.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest, sometimes the answers may not be the one you want to hear, but it's an answer, and at least you heard it.
At least you can explore it and understand what's
Right.
going on. Okay.
So
Very good.
we'll definitely look into that.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think we have one more evening with the chef coming up. I think that's in December, and the information will come out, and that's going to be a duo. That's going to be both Chef Suzanne from Garden Ridge and Chef Zanab Mama from the Jefferson, and they're going to work in collaboration. And I know they've already been meeting and talking about doing it, an evening, their evening with the chef meal. So
Very good.
that'll
We
be
have
coming
another call
out.
coming in. This is great. Go ahead, you're on Channel 6.
Oh, good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
I'm calling to ask about the dinner rolls. Is there any possibility of having whole grain, whole wheat rolls available every night? Because so often we're getting corn muffins, which have a lot of sugar in them, white flour, and things like that. What's that?
I'm actually writing it down so we can look at.
Okay. Okay, thank you for calling. Michael's
you're
writing it down.
And we're actually, I'll actually look into that and make sure I communicate out to the chefs. I know they do a different array of rolls every night, and I don't think it's a hard request if we can throw in one of those rolls being a whole wheat or a multi-grain roll. We can look into that and look at what our options are. So I think that's a easy one-off, as we call it.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for bringing it to attention.
Excuse me, and I wrote down about the town halls as well, and we'll definitely revisit that. Well, after the meeting, I always meet up with both Ty and Corey to go over my notes from my call-in show. So
Good, good. Yeah, go ahead. We're ready for more call-ins. So if you have another question or comment, please let Michael know.
I have one more thing to announce.
All right.
Next Friday, not this Friday, Friday the 11th, we're going to have one more farmers market.
Oh, good.
And I know the residents really enjoy that. And it's going to be Knoll's Produce, the same farm that's been doing it. And this one's going to be geared more to the fall. They're going to bring some baked goods. I've talked about bringing some fall produce, maybe some flowers. So that'll be, I think it's 11 to 2. It's behind the bank and the stores in Town Center where it's always set up. And that's going to be Friday, November 11th.
Okay.
So we'll send out flyers and information on that, but I wanted to announce that because I know it is a favorite with the residents, and I know they enjoy that, and we always have a great turnout because I think the residents enjoy coming out, and I think it's easier bringing it to them, to enjoy.
Yeah, because there's so many who do not drive anywhere.
Correct, and I think bringing a farmers market to you, and it's been a huge success, and we're going to continue it next year with Knoll's Produce. They like it, we like it. It's a great, I guess, arrangement, and we're going to build upon it.
Okay, we have another call coming in. You're on Channel 6. Go ahead with your call.
Go ahead.
Are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
I'm trying to mute my phone. Actually, I need to mute the television, I suppose. Hold on a second, please.
Did you get that?
I think she's trying to.
Okay.
I'm obviously not.
There you are. Okay.
Let me try again. Sorry about this. How much time is allotted for residents to eat their meal in Jefferson at dinner?
I don't think we have a stopwatch on any residents. I really think that in all the dining rooms, you're never, I think, pressured to leave. I've never seen a resident asked to hurry up or move on. I think it's your dining room. You want to come in, you want to enjoy your meal, please do. We also ask the residents to understand that there's a lot of people coming in, to be courteous and, of your fellow residents.
Yeah, if you see somebody waiting, then maybe it's time to get up and go to the lobby.
But as far as, hey, you got to hurry up, let's go, no. That'll never happen. We'll never put a stopwatch on your table or one of those hourglasses. That's, no one's ever going to force you out. But in the same time, we also say, let's be courteous of our fellow residents. There's 1,700 residents here, and, at any given point, we do over 2,000 meals. Now, that's counting community-wide.
Sure.
We do over 2,000, probably like 2,200 meals a day. So all we ask is that the residents are courteous of their fellow residents and conscious of, the meal period. And like you said, if you want to carry on the conversation, There's the lobby, there's the bistro, there's many areas that you can carry on the conversation. But we're never going to, all right, let's go, time to move on. You'll never hear that out of our management.
I know, I think when you see the dining room is filled and there are people waiting, then when you're through eating, it's time to move on.
It's common courtesy.
Yes.
So, but as far as, do we have a time, in our book, like, all right, there's 50 minutes, we got to, no one does that.
No.
So, and we just, I think it's not just a meal, it's an experience. We want the residents to enjoy. The meal time is the most important. It's the social activity of the day.
Yes, yes.
And we want them to enjoy their dining experience. And like you and I talked about, the communication piece. If you hear something or see something or you have a question, let us know. Mm-hmm. A lot of residents have brought great suggestions or ideas or comments to us that we've run, as I say, run with. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it's your home and it's your area to enjoy your time with your friends and your fellow residents, and we want to make that as pleasant as possible.
I think it's always unfortunate that people will complain to their neighbors and to other people, but not write anything down so that you know anything about it.
No one's going to get in trouble. We're not going to go and, your server gave you bad service. We're going to, you don't even have to, if you don't want to put the name, don't put the name. But we can't react if we don't know. I know it sounds silly, but you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And if, no one's going to get in trouble. If you had a bad meal, my steak was overcooked. Okay, we can take that as a training experience and a learning experience. But if you say everything's fine, I'm going to assume
that everything's
fine.
Everything's
fine.
Exactly.
So.
And if you don't hear anything, you'll presume everything's fine.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, we do over 2,000 meals. Is every single one of them going to be 100%? No one on this planet can do that.
That's right.
So are we going to have our opportunities? Like any department, like any restaurant, you always have opportunities for improvement. Mm-hmm. And that's where you, the residents, come into play. You're like, we used to call them secret shoppers out in the corporate restaurant world. You are, I'm not going to say secret shoppers, but you are our shoppers, because the reason we go around and talk to you at the tables or the comic cards or have these meetings, because we want to know how we can make your experience better. Mm-hmm. And if you're, everything's okay, well, we're going to take that, everything's okay.
Right.
Right. And we try to react on everybody's questions or comments. Now, you have 1,700 residents, you probably have 3,000 suggestions.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, you do the best you can. And like I said, we are always looking, for improvements. Mm-hmm. So I think we do a pretty darn good job. You walk around and talk to people, and you get a lot of positive feedback, and people enjoy their meals. And if your broccoli wasn't hot enough today, again, I apologize.
Double check on the.
Yeah, and we'll look at it and we'll go back and do that. But again, we listen to what you want as specials, and we're always changing our specials out. And we're always, even in the Jefferson, we do the same thing. In the Jefferson, your menu's changing every day. Mm-hmm. And we've, years ago, we brought in the vegetarian option. So now you do have that seafood and that meat option and that poultry option and a vegetarian. So we hear and we react. We do numerous action and stations and carving stations in the Jefferson because the residents enjoy that. So we do react and we do listen to what the residents say.
Because I know your main concentration is on the dinner hour.
Yeah, but we've made, over here, if you come to Woodland for lunch, it looks like dinner some days.
Well, many of us eat our dinner at lunch.
So.
And my only comment on that, and has been all along, is let's do something special at lunch once in a while instead of just at dinner. We have another call coming in. Go ahead with your call. Welcome to Channel 6. Your call's on.
I just wanted to put in a comment. Every time They're on the television talking about the restaurants. The cafe is always neglected, and it's a very popular place, and the same people come there and eat. I've put many comment cards in, but nothing is ever done about the changes. We used to be like the Jefferson. We could have a different salad every day and a different soup every day. But now it's the same thing. We don't even need to pick up a menu because it's the same thing week after week. Soup stays for 6 weeks at a time and so forth. It's really, I've been here many years, and I love the cafe, mainly because of the children and Penny. So that's my comment. I wish there'd be more talk about the cafe and changing menus. Since you're changing the bistro, I wish the cafe would get something new, too.
Okay, thank you for your call.
And that's a great call. And on the 14th, we are going to be introducing a new menu in the cafe. And as far as the soups go, I know at dinner time, we always have 2 soups. One will be the signature soup, and the other one will be a soup of the day. So there's always a new, at dinner time, a soup of the day. Now, there'll be the signature soup that we run in Fireside, that we run in, I think it's tomato basil right now. So yes, you'll see the tomato basil every night, but you'll also see an introduction of a new soup of the day. As far as the menu goes, we rotate the menu week to week. So how it works now is, say today's Wednesday, you'll have your 2 lunch entrees in the hot section. And then at nighttime, one of those entrees will carry over and we'll introduce a new entree. So at nighttime, we're always introducing a new entree, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're always doing a carving. Tonight, we're doing a carving. Friday, we'll do a carving. Monday, we'll do a carving. So the menu is changing, and as I said, on the 14th, we're looking at introducing a new menu. We're looking at adding maybe some more signature items, more ethnic items, giving a little flair to it, not just doing your stews or your wings, or we'll have those, because understand things like the Taco Tuesdays and the pizza on Friday and the wings, those are resident and also at lunchtime employee driven. A major portion of the people that partake in the cafe at lunch are employees as well, and we hear that what they'd like to see. Pizzas are a big thing on Friday, like I said. Tacos are Tuesday, so those are a couple of the staple items that may carry over, and that's also what we hear from both the residents and the staff that come in for lunch. But you will see a new menu, and you'll see changes to the menu. We'll rotate the carving items. At nighttime, there is a soup of the day that we introduce. And we're looking at, adding a few changes to the menu. So it's not neglected. We definitely hear it. I know that it's been out in the cubby stuffers about the changes to the cafe that are coming on the 14th.
Yes.
So it's not pushed aside. It's not a subject that we don't talk about. We talk about it very much, and it's encompassed a lot of our discussions lately, and hopefully when the rollout comes on the 14th, everybody will be pleased with the changes we put in.
So hang on until the 14th, yeah. Okay, we need to close it up here and get to our announcements. I don't know if we have a little video of some fall colors before the announcements or not.